everybody. I'm Steve Peterson.
And I am Jack Hinkle. And Steve, today is another special day, just like yesterday.
It's the last day of school! Woo! Okay, that was a good episode. See you guys later. Okay. See you. Okay. Today is the last day of school. Today is May 30th. And so today, back-to-back days in the school year, we have decided to do a live Chops podcast because we had this time set up for a final, but we don't give a final in band. And so we thought we could use this time to kind of do a little chop casting.
Chop casting. Hashtag Chops Nation. Right? That's it. And we have here today with us two of the concert bands at Concord High School. Live studio audience.
That's true.
At B135.
Yeah!
Make some noise.
We also have, we have the sixth period concert band, which is under the direction of Mr. Brian Golden and Mrs. Nicole Naus. And then we also have our class, Mr. Hinkle and Mr. Peterson's class, the sixth period Sinfonietta.
Nice.
Okay.
Super.
So we thought, Jack, Mr. Hinkle, but students, I call him Jack. Okay. So we thought we would ask the students today, what is it that you want students or teachers to know?
Could be a dangerous question.
Could be real dangerous. We might have to get out
Lactose intolerant. Oh, that's not it. Okay.
Yeah,
so we have students offered this question to say, what do you wish your teachers know? And we didn't really give them much other than that, and I kind of want to see where it goes.
I kind of don't, but I'm ready for it.
They're starting to giggle. Is that a good sign or a bad sign?
No, there are certain students in this class that I definitely want to come up to the front row, and I cannot address them by name. But there are some people in this class that I just wish you would ask that question, or you tell us what teachers want and what teachers should know. Okay. All right. So at this, are we?
Yeah. So students, if you have a question, if you would like to speak at this time, please make your way toward the waiting area over here, and we will give you time to get that going.
There we go.
We got caller number
There we
one.
go.
We got
There.
caller number two.
Yeah.
Oh, we got three.
Yeah.
We got four. Oh, this is great. People are lining.
Oh my gosh.
This is good.
Oh my
'Kay.
gosh.
This is good.
Just line up
Okay.
behind you. Like line up back there.
Yes. Caller number one in the Handel Hendricks house shirt. Please come on down.
Okay.
Listeners, I think you can hear at this time like the rumble in the room about.
Yes.
Looks like 10 students just got up all at once.
Okay. So our first caller is up here.
And reminder to all of our audience members that we're not using names.
Yep.
I will not make one up for you.
You'll need to pick up the microphone. Our first caller.
So when you have your question, you may go ahead, speak into the microphone, and tell us what you got.
What am I supposed to ask?
Wait, not question. I'm sorry. I was going to yesterday.
What do you
wish your teachers would know?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm student one.
Hi, student,
Hi,
one.
Okay.
What do you want teachers to know?
I want teachers to know that you all are awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for teaching us to do things. Yeah.
That was very kind.
Thank you. That was your comment? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Caller number one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Caller number two. Come on down.
Okay. Caller number two.
Things you wish your teacher would know.
Things you wish your teacher would know.
Hi.
Hello.
I wish that teachers would know is that students have voices that they wish were heard by teachers, that teachers don't really take time to listen to the students or take time to get to know. And I wish that those students would have those opportunities to let the teacher know their opinions and listen to their voices, because I know some students struggle, but they're too scared to get out, and the teachers just I think teachers realize it, but don't at the same time, unless you open your mouth up and talk.
Sure.
And it's I think a lot of students want to voice their opinions, but they don't think teachers will listen. And I think that's something that not only our school struggle is, but like schools all around.
That's a big one.
That is insightful. Thank you.
So, without name dropping or anything like that, have there been times through your K through high school experience that you felt like teachers have listened? Don't list teachers by name, but have there been moments where you've had success with that?
No, I haven't.
So just in general, as an experience, you wish teachers could do a better job listening to who truly the students are.
Yes.
Excellent point. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, caller number 3.
Hello.
Yep, and students, when you're talking on the microphone, you want to hold it close so that we get a good read on your
Eat
voice.
the mic, as they say. Yes.
Eat the mic.
Mhm.
Say my name.
That's right.
I think something like I in general want to say is, like, during marching season, you guys talk about it a lot, how we're really lucky here at Concord to have so many band directors and just like the support we have as a band. And personally, I can relate to that, and I'm the person that's always in the back like, yeah, you gotta listen to them guys, because that's true, because I transferred. Obviously, we know this.
Right.
And I came into the Concord world, and like it was a really good experience for me, and being able to know, coming in the first day, I walked in, I was like, hey, and they're like, hi, and I'm like, I'm the new senior. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to some other students, and they were just like, yeah, we have 7 band directors. And I was like, what? And it was really, really good experience for me, and it was awesome. And I was like, I don't know how you have 7 band directors, but now I know why, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller.
Hello.
Next student.
Caller number 4.
Caller
Welcome.
number 4. Go ahead.
Something that I just wish teachers knew was like how much of a mental toll school is on and off the field. Like, it's such a huge mental toll on your life. Like, depending on like if it's just from like homework or like after school activities and clubs or like marching band, it's just a huge mental toll.
So with that mental toll, understanding you wish teachers know that, how do you wish teachers would act differently based on that knowledge?
Just be like a little more forgiving, I feel like, because I feel like sometimes it's like students will make like a couple mistakes and it's just like automatically you get a bad rep for it or something like that.
Having a little more forgiveness,
A
understanding.
little bit more grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Caller
caller number
number
4. Caller number 5.
Hi.
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 What I want people to understand, teachers, not broad generalization, not exactly just you guys,
That's fine.
but we go to school 7 hours a day just to receive 7 hours of homework and do 700 other things at home. So while a lot of kids are on their phone way too much, we're not just getting sleep deprived from being on our phones. We're also doing a lot more than I think people realize.
And you're a student that has been chosen to be involved in extracurricular activities,
Yes.
like in the fall, in the winter,
And across different
in the
disciplines.
spring, and different
Yeah.
disciplines, right?
Athletics and drama and music, right?
Yeah.
And I can imagine how that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I do like all the extracurriculars that I have to do, but the homework on top of it, it just gets really stressful. I wish teachers are more lenient, understanding why some students are tired.
Valid point. Well taken. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller
Caller
number
number
6.
6. Nice.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
caller 6.
One thing I wish teachers realized is that the student voices are never really heard unless parents get involved, and that can go with anything really. And I just wish teachers did something the first time instead of letting it get to a point where we feel like we need our parents to defend us more than the school with anything.
You wish things that maybe discipline or just certain behaviors or attitudes could be addressed more within the school, without having to go to the parents to solve everything.
Yeah.
To kind of keep wraps on the kids that are here and help problem solve here.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Caller number 7.
Hello.
Hello.
Caller 7.
I feel like for some more of the visual learners, I feel like that we should have more trips involving out of the school, because sometimes I feel like students can feel trapped, especially when they're in school, because they're always in class, they're being lectured to do homework and stuff, and I feel like that maybe we should just let them kind of explore in their own world while we're traveling to different places. So
Do you ever think about, like, I'm going to ask a question on your statement, but do you ever, are there things that you think about like places you would like to go that would fulfill that? Like, it would be great if we did what?
I think I have a couple, but like I feel like we should go to like parks more, and like especially in photography class, nothing's really out in the front of the school to, take pictures of. So I feel like that we should probably like go to the park, let us take a breather for a few, and then come back to school, and then we can have a fresh mind and
Okay.
all that.
That helps. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
Thank
Caller
you.
7.
Caller number 8.
Hi.
Hi.
One of the things I want teachers to know is the way that you guys teach in your classroom. You always make sure that we have eye contact and that you're listening to us and that you actually look at us and hear us as people more than just students that are just going to leave the next year. I feel like I'm not heard as a student or a friend sometimes when I'm trying to teach or help people with school. I just feel like teachers need to come into your class and see how you interact with the students, because if they look at how close of a bond you have with all of your students, I feel like they would see so much more with the students and the bonds between teacher and student that can come.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, thank you.
That was very insightful. I hope that you know, and then also, just to kind of flip it back on you, you're a student that chooses to look at us. And so we appreciate that, just like you appreciate us looking at you. And it's nice being in front of a room, 30, 40, 50, 200 kids that are looking back at you, and it's a two-way street. But thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Thank you. Caller number 9.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
caller 9.
I wish teachers knew like more about their students, like ask questions about like how their day is or what's going on in their lives, or like what other activities they're in, because I feel like you guys do that very well. Like you ask questions or you say hi to us. Like I feel like most of my teachers don't do that. They just try to get through the day and they don't like ask me questions or ask how I'm doing. Like you guys do that really well.
Well, thank you for saying that. I think I'll speak for, I won't speak for Mr. Hinkle, but he can jump in on it, and the other band directors as well. But hopefully the way that you feel like some teachers are interacting with you can be an inspiration or an example of how you can interact with your teachers, or you can interact with your classmates. Just like that's how we choose to interact with other adults in the building, and hope that we can, build upon that. But it's not just like some little gimmick or some little show, but it's like a way that we kind of want to live our lives and how we want our classrooms to feel. But
and I would say too, like again, kind of like what Mr. Peterson said with the last student, you're also the student that kind of chooses to talk to us,
Yes.
right? And I think you might be surprised if you start doing that to a lot of teachers. It might kind of catch them off guard at first, but they'd probably like give that back to you, and then you'd kind of spread that out with your other teachers, which would be like a really cool thing to have from a student.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a gift for you. That's cool.
good comment,
Awesome.
good question or comments. Thank you.
Thank you, caller number 9.
9.
Caller number 10.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Ice cream coming up. Put your microphone up. There
Okay.
you go. Thank you.
there you go. Thanks, man.
I just wanted to say that you like the whole band department, but mostly you two, you guys do too much for us, and I'm really appreciative of that. Like how you're taking like the bus for like let me speak. Hello.
We got you. Take your time.
Oh, I also had a whole speech. It's gone.
It's okay.
All right. I just want to say I'm appreciative of you two specifically for making this podcast, and you for taking the bus to like the Blue Devils
Oh
this,
yeah.
the thingy
Experience.
Blue Devils
Yes.
experience. Yeah.
and I just like most teachers just really don't care for what the students think, and I'm just really appreciative of you two guys
Hey,
and the
thanks
whole
so
band
much.
department.
Hey.
You two.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you. 11, yeah.
Are you okay? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Caller number 3 is back.
Caller number.
I think it was 3.
Caller
Were you 3?
3 is back.
I'm 3 or 4.
Okay.
We'll go with 3.
Okay.
Welcome
here we
back.
go.
Elaborating on like being interactive. On top of that, I think again it's kind of more centered towards you guys. I think Chop's podcast in a way is kind of helpful for teachers that are listening, but I also think it's helpful for some students that listen, because for me, like, I paint in the music department, and I'm surprised neither of you have heard me, but I listen to Chop's podcast all the time. And sometimes I'll sit there and go, huh, I never thought that. And I think in general it's kind of nice to see, like, you're not just the teacher we see in the classroom, you're people too. You see other things, which I think in general, knowing, like, I think teachers should be able to do that as well. I think even in the classroom, to some degree, they should be able to kind of be more personalized. I feel like sometimes we go through teachers and classes every day, and I feel like we're on a constant, like, repeat cycle, and it's just kind of gets dragging after a while. But I think when, like, you guys are more personal, you guys try to be a little bit more personable, but also having teachers just in a normal classroom be a little bit more personable and, like, talk about their weekend, or, you know, like how you guys do the question of the day. It's more, we're able to actually, like, see you as a person rather than just, oh, you're a teacher I have to listen to for a lecture, then you're going to give me homework, and then keep going. Instead it's also now just, hey, it's Mr. Hinkle. Hey, it's Mr. Peterson. I know X, Y, and Z. I know the mouse problems.
Right.
I know the stories, the music. It's whatever.
Well, I think one thing that you said that I think is really good, and I'm happy to know that you listen to the podcast and you like it, but the fact that you're, like, listening to something, whatever it is, that is making you go, whether you're listening to a sports podcast or a philosophy or a religion or a whatever, but something that is kind of stimulating your mind and helping you to think about things in a different way.
Which is why I like listening to it, because sometimes, I think there was one of them, I think it was the episode Busy. You talk about, like, how students just go, oh man, I'm just so busy, and they don't really elaborate. I had to go, because I've kind of done that to a couple of you sometimes. Where you're like, hey, how was your weekend? I'm like, I'm just really busy.
Yeah.
I don't elaborate, but I just go, well, I am busy. It's just, to go into detail, it's a lot. But then I also think about, like, what I have to do and how sometimes it can be dragging. And then the assignments part where they're like, hey, we're not going to mention students, but sometimes when they do this and they give the excuses, I'm like, I've kind of made those excuses before, but it's like, it's different, but also not. It's just, it's different, and it just makes you think. In different episodes, I sit there and I'm like,
Good.
Sure.
Well,
Well, thank you, caller number 3.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Got it now? Caller number 11.
11? 11?
12?
12? 11. Caller number 11. Welcome.
Okay. All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. I just want to say that teachers should be, like, more, how is it? Like, more, like, not cooperative, but, like, teach better, you know?
I think that about myself every day.
Every day.
No, like, because, like, there's some teachers, like, no joke. I think I had, like, a teacher last year where, like, he, like, just give us an assignment, and he would say, just, like, try to figure it out on your own. And they wouldn't, like, and there's some other teachers that are like that, too.
I think you said cooperative, maybe collaborate.
Yeah.
Like helping the student work through something.
Yeah, something like along those lines, because.
Eat the mic, my man. Eat the mic. There you go.
Like this?
Yep.
And. Oh, my goodness. And then, because, yeah, there's some teachers that are like that. And then also, like, sometimes the students wouldn't even, like, they wouldn't even know what they're doing, to a point where they would, like, be on their phones, not do nothing, because they don't even have no clue what they're doing at all.
So, like, they might be on their phone, not because they're, like, being
I don't feel like
rude,
doing it.
but they just don't know how to.
They just don't know how to do it.
So what else is there? I see. Okay.
And then, I don't know, it's just, then it just, like, feels like we're just there, like, as, like.
And that affects you, obviously, as a learner.
Yeah.
Because it kind of distances you from the teacher and from the work. And it doesn't motivate you to want to participate.
Yeah, and then especially like sometimes those like whatever class they got, they lead into the next year, and then you don't even know what you're doing next year.
So you
with the
start
same
out
subject.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that cycle continues. Right.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
So making sure the students are kind of taken care of with what's
Yeah.
going on. Perfect.
Thanks
All right.
for resettling
Yes.
your thoughts.
Thank you,
Good
caller
job.
number 11.
Yeah. All right, no problem.
Caller number 12.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, caller 12.
Loki. Sorry. I think I have two things. I don't know. I might change my mind as I go along. But one of them would probably be like respect, because there's some teachers that really they say like, oh, no phones, and then like they are using their phone like right in front of you, which I think it's embarrassing. Because how are you gonna tell me not to do something and then you do it?
True. Truth has been spoken. True.
So, yeah. And the other one, it isn't in this class specifically, but I have this one teacher, which I'm not going to call out names, but
Good.
some people know who. But they're just, I feel like they don't really know how to put authority, and they don't know how to tell students to stop. Because we were taking a test the other day, and people were being annoying and obnoxious, and it was just over the top annoying. And he left. So, I don't know. And, yeah, I feel like you should have control of your classroom. Otherwise, you shouldn't be a teacher. Just saying. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would just imagine, like, I'm sorry, I would like to go back to the phone thing for a second.
Okay.
Like, because I'm sure, I mean, we've all seen students and teachers be on their phones at appropriate and maybe inappropriate times. So what goes through your head, like, when you see the teacher be on the phone, when I imagine, like, right after they told the class to not do that?
Like, it's embarrassing for
Like,
you?
you just embarrassing.
Like, hypocrite type?
Yep. Perfect. Okay.
Good use of that word, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything?
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was your number? You remember? Okay. I don't remember either.
Caller,
no.
I don't know.
Caller, I don't know.
Caller.
8?
Yeah.
8. Caller 8.
I
Welcome
thought
back.
they just held up 3 plus 4.
That's what I saw.
I thought
Oh,
3 plus 4.
I just
was
saw
like,
3. They said caller number 8. This minute.
8.
Holding the microphone on the other end. I'm with you. Okay. Go ahead, caller 8.
So another thing I wish teachers cared more about was our lives more than assigning homework. Because at the end of the day, it's about our lives that matter more than getting everything done, because at the end of the day, we're going through things that the teachers don't know about. Our mental health could be down into the pits of absolutely nowhere, where we're not doing our fully best to do schoolwork, and the teachers just assign more schoolwork on us to the point where we can't even focus on our own mental health, and it just ruins us and our own schoolwork. So I wish they cared more about our lives first, asked if we were okay, gave us help with our lives, and then helped us with our school.
I would like to respond to your question by addressing the audience here. Okay, students in the room, if you've had an hour or more of homework in the last week, please clap. Now please clap if you've had 2 hours or more of homework in the last week. Go. Okay. Clap if you've had no homework in the last week. This is fascinating.
So I think there is a diversity. Okay, I think there is a diversity of teachers. Some assign a lot of homework, and some assign no, right? You've heard some that have, but you're thinking of some that have loaded up the homework, okay? So I'm going to turn this into a positive for you. This is going to be a compliment for you. Many of the students do get homework across the 1,700 students at Concord High School, and there's a good portion of them that don't spend any time doing their homework, right?
Yeah.
So, but there are. I'm just telling you. But you have that stress of doing the homework because you're choosing to do the homework, but it's also conflicting with how you feel, right? Yeah. So that's a partially a win for you, not a total solving of the problem, but you are choosing something, some motion, where some students are choosing to do nothing. But we hope that mental health is always, some way given attention by your teacher and by people working with you. That's the hope.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, caller 8. Caller number 2.
2.
Yes.
Caller 2, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you.
This isn't really something I want teachers to know. This is just something I want to mention that I hope teachers will take into consideration. Also, I just want to compliment you guys. I think you guys are good people, and I think having you guys here in this atmosphere makes my day a lot better.
Oh.
And I want to know that I'm very grateful and thankful for you guys.
You're welcome.
Even all the band teachers. I'm grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Teachers want to give students advice, which I understand, and I feel like that's very good that they want to. But sometimes their advice goes way back, and it doesn't make any sense to the students because times have changed. And I feel like when teachers are giving homework, and then they're like, well, you choose not to do it, that's not on me. But I'm like, yeah, it's not. You're right. But I feel like there's a lot of things going on that even though you could do it, there's not always a chance that the student can do it. And if it's assigned the day after and they're super busy that one day and they can't fit a time to do it, I think that's just more pressure on the student. And I just think when the teachers give the advice, it just doesn't help. And I feel like it's just more focused on them realistically than the student. But I mean, some students can take it and some students understand it.
Right.
But sometimes their advice just doesn't stick through all, and I feel like that's just what they keep trying to press into it, is that this is this and that is that, and it should fit full around.
They're trying to be very formulaic in the response, like a similar response every time,
rigid.
and that doesn't always fit for every student.
Yes.
As you said, like in your, times have changed and maybe the needs have changed, right?
Yes.
It's very insightful. Thank you. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, caller number 2.
Yeah.
Caller
one.
4. 1? No. We're not even close. Okay, caller number 9, welcome back.
I've been keeping track. Anyways, it's not really what I want, but what do you guys want to see change in the school? You want to be shorter?
What do we want to see changed in the school was boy, that is a monumental question.
It is.
So, okay. So if you my first response is, I wish that we could change the culture of the school to more engagement. And that's not like a student rip. That's just like student and adults. I wish there was more teacher engagement from teacher to teacher. I wish there was more student engagement, student to student. And I wish there was more student to teacher engagement and vice versa. Okay? I feel like there's too many people in our school that go through the day isolated, sometimes by their own choice, sometimes by the choice of others, but just go through the day doing their own thing and not really interacting with the people around them. And that's on them, but that's also on the people around them that are choosing not to interact. Nobody should be isolated in our school, and I think the community and the relationship building would lead to a much better overall school morale and eventually higher academic achievement.
So more like group activities in classes and stuff?
I just think you got to pay attention to people. You got to pay attention to people. And if you're a student in a class, you got to pay attention to your classmates. And the days of just walking through the halls or being in your band and being next to people for 5 periods a day that you don't talk to, those days have got to stop. And the days of teachers having kids in their class where you don't know anything about them and you never talk to them, that's got to stop. So, I mean, that's my thing, but you know, that's kind of where I draw the line, but what I'm interested in. What do you got?
No,
there?
I agree. I was just thinking like when you're walking down a hallway, like, and it's not during a passing period, and there's like you and one other person like 100 feet away, and it's like really awkward when you guys like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Because you don't know
Yeah.
whether to like look at them or address them. You don't know when, like, so you like get out your phone or you like to look at. That's like what comes to mind, just like about this engagement thing. And I would like the school just to kind of be like what you said, just like more engaging. A lot of like a baseline thing for teachers, I think, is to know all of your students' names. I think that's pretty like baseline. I would like for all of my students to know each other's names in the class. I don't think I've done my job well if my class doesn't all know each other's names. So that's kind of where I try to take my responsibility in kind of creating that environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that question. That was
That's
good.
a good question.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, we have a
Hello.
new guest artist.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, we can say your
Hello.
name. It's Mr. Golden.
Yeah, you
This
can
is
say my
Mr.
name. I'm an
Golden.
adult.
Back. Yeah.
So one, I've really enjoyed listening to you guys, and I think
Yes.
I think every teacher would be wise to take a moment to, again, just listen to you guys. You guys have said a lot of really good things. But one thing that keeps coming through in my mind is, I don't know if you noticed, but my dad was a science teacher in 8th grade for 32 years. And so he was one of those teachers, just like you guys experienced, where he only had a student for a year or a semester. And so I'm always curious. You know, we have, as band directors, we have the advantage of knowing you for many years, and so we get that bond with you guys, and we can talk to you guys a lot more easily than other classroom teachers. How would you suggest, and this is where I'm going to hand the mic back, when those teachers only have you for a year or a semester, and they have to cover certain content and get to know you, you know, because we all want that connection. How does a regular classroom teacher do that? How would you suggest that those regular classroom teachers that truly want to get better, every teacher wants to know their kids, but they're also kind of overwhelmed with all the other things that they feel like they're required to do. So how would you suggest those teachers find that balance when they only have you for a year or a semester? You know, by the time, if you're here with me through your senior year, I've known you for half of your school career. So of course I'm going to have a different relationship with you guys than your science teacher. So any thoughts on that?
Yes.
Good question.
And for listeners, yeah, Mr. Golden teaches these students for 7 years. 7 years.
Grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It's real. Thank you.
Hello. So I was just gonna say, like, kind of piggybacking off what Mr. Golden said. Well, kind of different but similar. I've known Mr. Golden for majority of my life, probably
Yes.
about half, because I had an older sibling who was also in Concord Band. And this goes to all of the music directors, including Mr. Golden too. You guys have helped me a lot grow as a musician and a person, and the music program especially is amazing here, and I just love it, and I love you guys being here. So yeah.
Thanks, man.
Well, we like having you
Glad
here.
you're here.
And
Yeah.
it's good to hear those things. But we've seen how you've grown too.
Mhm.
And it's fun to be able to do those things together, those musical activities. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Thank you.
And again, for students, in going back to Mr. Golden's question, thinking about how do you get a classroom teacher that sees you for 45 minutes for one semester? How do you make those connections as opposed to a teacher that has had you for 4, 5, 6, 7 years? You know, so keep on thinking about that. But caller number 5
is back. Welcome
Go ahead.
back.
Okay, so me and my friends were just like bouncing things around.
Okay.
They're just kind of like whisper talking, and I'm kind of the spokesperson, so it's kind of like a couple of things. But the most famous one in our little group is favoritism. Teachers pick favorites so much, and it's very, very obvious who the favorites are.
For the listeners who are not watching, the student audience just gave like a lot of nods in agreement to that statement.
Teachers, too, are given the nod. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were there. Sorry. That was a joke.
Like, I
Okay,
think
go
it's
ahead.
very important to treat every kid with the same amount of respect instead of like making sure to just call on this kid or give this kid special things when you just told someone else no. And it's just like it goes from things like due dates to just being called on in class. It's like it's a huge problem, and I really think teachers need to like reassess.
Are you saying it's a problem when you're not the favorite or when you are the favorite?
Honestly, I think it's both.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a sense of awkwardness there, even when you are the
If
chosen
you are
one.
the favorite, you're also getting like a lot of glares and hated on by your peers, and so that's not fun. And okay, I wrote this down in my notes, so give me a hot minute. But there's like a bunch of topics. Oh, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say the teacher's name, but
That's good.
That's good.
there's a teacher that I'm pretty sure you will know if I'm talking about it, but they like to say that they don't grade things on weekends because it's their weekend and they deserve that free time. But then they assign loads of homework on that very same weekend. If you don't want to grade over the weekend, then I don't want to work over the weekend.
It's very similar to the phone comment, right?
Yeah.
It's the same idea. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Wow.
And then this is just mine, but like I feel like if you're teaching a subject, be passionate about the subject. Like actually like the subject you're teaching. 'Cause I'm pretty sure a lot of people know some teachers who will complain about the subject they're teaching and then be super dry when they're like trying to teach it to kids who also don't understand it. So if you want to teach and be passionate about the thing that you're teaching about.
You could be a teacher someday. Don't look at me like that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Caller number
Two is back. Welcome.
Hi.
I think we're waiting for quiet on the set for the audience members. Thank you.
I want to talk about Mr. Golden's question.
Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Golden's question. Thank you.
I don't really think there is an exact way a student can give ideas that is perfect, because I don't really think there is anything perfect to give. But I think if teachers are looking for a student to help them like balance, like give them ideas how to balance, I think all it really depends on how the teacher can handle, how they can take it. I think if a teacher takes one thing at a time and then mellows it a little and takes it to be like something not too thin but something they can handle, and then also do another task at the same time, I think that's what really can help them balance. I don't really think a student can give you the exact thing that you're looking for, because we all have different minds. We all think different. But like, I think if you take something and you dissect it one at a time by itty bits and you learn how you can handle things and take it, I think that can really help a teacher.
Breaking things down. Perfect.
Appreciate
Thank you.
your insights. Thank
Thank
you.
you. 35.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, caller. Welcome back. Number
Three or
three,
four.
3 or
We
4. It's been a
decided
while.
3 or
Okay.
4.
Go ahead.
Mr. Golden's question. I think, I'm trying to think how to put this. How does a teacher do that in 45 minutes? I think in general, I've had quite a few awesome teachers here at Concord that make an effort to, before, even if it's like in the time before the bell rings for class to start, it's like you're walking around the room saying, hey, how you doing? How's your weekend? Got any classes going on that are difficult? You guys obviously do that. That's a big thing you guys do all the time. I always look forward to it because sometimes when I'm really down, it helps a lot. But I have other teachers that will do that even in the classroom. They just walk up and down the desks or they'll stop and be like, "Hey, I saw that you had a softball game today," or "Hey, I saw you had a marching band thing today." It's nice when you have a teacher that not only I don't want to say does their homework on the kids, but if they know their kid and they know the name and recognize the name from a sports team or a marching band or some type of extracurricular, even if you are in an extracurricular, you can always ask about the kids. You can always ask what they're doing. You can also try to get, I don't want to say get with the times, but when you know a student has something interesting, you can branch off of it. I have a teacher that I love and talk to her all the time. Some students don't think she's a great teacher, but I'm always like, maybe you should talk to her first. I talk to her every day, and she always will ask me about what's going on. And even sometimes some teachers will give life updates, and they'll be like, "Life update, this is what's going on with
That's
me."
a good idea.
Cool.
And I really like it. I'm able to get pretty close with a lot of my teachers. I do agree, though, with caller number 5, wherever she went. Oh, she's behind me. Okay. Some teachers do pick favorites, and I think that is something that teachers need to branch out with. I know some teachers I've talked to have social anxiety as well. We have social anxiety, it's a thing, which sometimes I feel like is really challenging to do if you're a teacher. Don't know how you do that as a teacher, but kudos to you.
Every day.
I just think sometimes I feel like not only is it favoritism, I think it's sometimes the teachers get comfortable with talking to those students because they know those students, or they know they can relate to them on a certain level with marching band or whatever it is, and they can talk to them, and then it brings them into more they're comfortable with that student. They can talk to that student more than they can with another student, or they can call on that student because they know they can trust that student to talk or say something. And I feel like that turns into the favoritism that we see, and then everybody else that's not a part of that circle, I guess, gets left out and feels behind, and then kind of gets isolated again, which can be awkward for the students because sometimes I'm that student that talks in class, and they're like, "Why do you talk so much?" I'm like, "I just talk to the teacher. I just do what I want to do." So I think it's kind of that aspect of it.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
And this will be our final caller. Welcome back. Go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted the teachers know that you guys are very appreciated. A lot of students really like you, and you're doing a really good job at teaching. And I feel like a lot of the callers have said how students have it hard and stuff like that, and they do. But I feel like teachers do too, because they also have to grade. They have to go home to their families. They have to take care of their families. They have a job. I feel like you guys are appreciated, and I just want you guys to know that. So.
Thank you so much.
Caller.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you to the many callers and students that were brave enough to go up to the mic and speak. And as your teachers, I won't speak on behalf of Mr. Peterson, but I'm imagining he's thinking the same thing, that it's really fascinating to hear students' thoughts, and fascinating to hear what all of you had to say today, and the level of insight that which you're sharing. Is very appreciated and very fun to listen to, and kind of does make us think, because one student said that it makes them kind of go, "Huh, haven't thought about that," and it's kind of getting that same reaction here.
Yeah, thank you to all the students that talked. That was it's insightful to hear to what you're saying, and what you notice, and what you notice in your other friends, and what you notice in your teachers. That's good stuff. That I would like to do this again. Maybe we could somehow carve out a time in the fall to do this. Right?
On the marching band field?
On the marching band
From
field.
the tower?
From the tower.
It's a long microphone cable we'll need. Okay. All right. Well, if you haven't yet followed us, please check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube to subscribe to our podcast, and subscribe to us on TikTok and Instagram at chops_podcast to get some more fun content.
Yes.
So this is coming out in 2 weeks from now for the students listening here live. It'll be out in the middle of June.
The end of season 2.
This is the end of season 2. This is our last episode we're recording here in school, and it looks like about T-minus 50 minutes until the school year is over.
Woo!
Yes.
Okay, for Steve Peterson
and Jack Hinkle,
we're out of here.
See ya.